Hello, my name is Sigmund Jones. Analyse this. This is Board Deck and Dice, and today we're looking at 51st State from Portal Games. 51st State is a game where you are trying to build the most efficient engine that takes your resources that you're producing every round and turns them into victory points ultimately. You do this by the building of locations and the making of deals and the raising of either your or your opponent's cards. Everyone starts with one of these player boards. They each have a slightly different theme. This one is the Merchants Guild, and it gets fuel more easily and is more efficient at making blue contract tokens. Contract tokens in this game are really important. You have blue, you have red, and you have grey, and then you have miscellaneous or wild. The blue contract tokens let you make deals. Deals are at the bottom of every card. You flip them upside down, you make a deal with that, and you put it at the top of your board there. You can see I've already got one there for bricks. The cost is the distance. Whenever you're playing anything out of your hand, the cost is generally the distance, 1, 2 or 3. So that would cost 2 blue contract tokens to make a deal with it. And then every production phase, and indeed when you first install it, you will get those resources. So that's the blue. The grey ones are the building ones. I've built some here, just an example. And again, you take the distance and you spend the amount of tokens for the distance. So 1, 2 or 3, and that will build you a 1. The wild can be used as anything, and the red are the raising tokens, the aggressive tokens. And they are used to attack other people's locations that they have built. If you attack a production, which is the top row, it costs you 3 tokens. A feature, which is the middle row, it costs you 4. And the actions at the bottom will cost you 5 tokens to raise. If you raise a card from your hand, however, it will cost you the distance. What do you get from raising? Well, you get all these spoils down here. So for raising this one, you would get 2 bricks. If it's on another person's location, they would also get the deal back as a sweetener, and they would flip it round. If you raise it from your hand, you just get the spoils. So that is a raised location which can then be developed. Resources, you have iron, you have guns, you have ammo, which is a wild resource and can be used for anything. You have workers, you have fuel, you have bricks, and you have a construction token. They're all used for various things, but generally you're trying to get hold of these tokens. The workers can be used for lots of different things. The guns are generally used to get the red tokens. The fuel is generally used to get the blue tokens, but not limited to. And the cogs can be useful in getting the grey tokens, but again, not limited to. Bricks and the bulldozers are slightly different. You may upgrade or develop locations if you can match one of the types down the side. So one of these 2 pictures, so this location could be upgraded on top of there with a brick because they both have the green ammo on, but it couldn't be upgraded on there because there is no matching icon there. However, if you have a super one, you can upgrade on anything, and if you have a raised location, you can upgrade anything onto it. The advantage of upgrading is you get a victory point, and also you can upgrade a 3 onto a 1 just by spending 1 token, so it doesn't cost you the distance, so it might be a more efficient way for you to do it. Let's take a look at 3 types of location. You have productions, which are at the top. They will give you resources. So this one is an open production, which means once you've built it, anyone else can take from that location by playing one of their workers to it, and they get the bonus here. So this would be a very good deal. They play 1 worker to it and they'd get 2 back. But you also get a worker. If anyone plays a worker on your card, you get a worker. Once 1 worker has been placed on it, no one else can use that location. This one also has a building bonus, which means when you build it, you get that one-off bonus. That's productions, and production locations can get you any of the resources. So they're quite good. Features are generally one of 2 things. They're usually a 1-hit power that gives you a ton of victory points, or they're storage. So when the round ends, when everyone's taken their turn, all the resources go back. You don't get to save any per round. You only get to save cards per round. So all the resources will be cleaned up unless you have one of these feature cards which lets you store them. Action cards generally, again, do one of two things. They will generally let you swap resources for victory points, or swap resources for other resources, which you would then try and turn into victory points or into tokens to build more victory points. So what happens is, at the start of each round, you will draft cards. So you get three, because you always get a production card as well. So each start of each round, you get 3 new cards. And then you have a production phase, so you look down your deals, you take everything on your deals. You could have a big long list of deals here. The difference with deals is they do not get you victory points at the end. Locations will get you a victory point for each built location. So you take all your production, you take all your deals, you take your production things here and anything across here, and then you take one action at a time, and then the next person takes one action, the next person takes one action, and it goes round like that until everyone has passed. If all the other players pass but you just take actions until you've run out. And again, it's in your best interest to use all your resources or have a feature that can hold them over till the next round, because you don't get to keep them. So you're looking to build the most efficient machine that does what you want it to do, and that really is a case of playing the cards that you get. So there is some luck in the cards that you get, but if you can use them to create kind of synergy between the cards, then you're going to build a good engine that gets you just a circular go. You get tons of things. If you want to build loads, you're just churning those out, or whatever it is you want to do. I love 51st State. It is a game that has gone down well from player counts 2 to 4. There is some slight differences in the player boards. They will give you other resources more easily, but it's so slight that you don't even have to stick to the resource that the board suggests, really. I've seen people win with the Mutants Union without attacking, for example. The other thing you can do in the game, which I just forgot, is these contract cards, which you spend 2 workers to get those, and then you can use them as another go to get those contract tokens, which makes them a little bit easier to get. But only one person can get each one of those. Once one's taken, that's it for the round. There is a ton of cards in this game. I haven't even used the 2 included expansions yet, and I'm still seeing new cards. The intimidation factor, there's lots of lovely wood pieces, which is lovely, but there is just a ton of tokens and a ton of pieces. There's a lot of information on the cards to take in. The intimidation factor is higher than medium. It's not a heavy game once you get into it, but because there is all that information there, once you understand it, it's fine, but there is that bump to get over. The instruction book's as good as it can be. It is long because of all the different things, but as I say, I don't let people read the instruction manual. I take them through it. I use the cheat sheet, instruction sheet, which is still quite big, but it gives them a list of all the actions they can take, and those actions are important because to do well, you need to take those actions in the right order. You need to prioritise getting the things that other people might get, like open locations, open production. If someone's got an open production for these wild tokens, you either want to shut that down or make sure you always claim it first, because they are really useful. The deciding whether you're going to use this card as a feature, as a storehouse, which is really, really good, or get a wild resource every go. Really good decisions. The fun in the game, I just love it. It can be prone on your first few plays to a bit of slowdown when people really consider there's a lot of actions you can take, but that speeds up as people realise they can be thinking about this while other people are taking their goes. Generally for me now, by the time it comes round to me, I know what I want to do and I just do it. And I've got a few things that I want to do, an order I want to do it in, but if someone takes what I wanted or shuts down that avenue, I've got other things that I want to do, and I'm really concentrating on building up the resources I want, turning the ones I don't want into what I do want to get those victory points. Once someone scores 25 points on the scoreboard, that will signal the end of the round, but then you tot up all the locations, any other bonuses you have. I had a really memorable game of this where the players, everyone went out, but before before they passed, the guy passed 25 points. But I just had amazing cards. I had a really good engine that just let me build and build and build and build and upgrade and develop. And I just crept past him 1 point at a time, just having the longest go I'd had, because everyone had passed and I got to do all my actions at once. It's a fantastic game. It's well worth the investment. I haven't played Imperial Settlers. I believe with Imperial Settlers, each faction has their own deck, so there's a bit more uniqueness, a bit more asymmetricalness, which isn't a word, but don't tell anyone and we get away with it. But I really love this one. I like the theme, I like the apocalyptic theme. It just works really, really well. Thanks for watching Board, Deck and Dice. 51st State is a big, big recommendation from me, and I will see you next time.